In this yoga session, we'll be working on our backs, strengthening, mobilizing, and making it more nimble. It builds on the previous yoga session that I did, which was from the 9th of January 2022. I will link that in the comments. As we're working on our backs, please be super careful. If you have any back injuries or chronic back pain, please be really mindful. Possibly choose the slightly less intense options that I'm giving. I'm giving loads of options, so you can still do this even with back pain. If you have any discomfort, that is something that might be fine, because we're moving in a way that we might not be used to moving. Prop-wise, we're going to be needing 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have 2 yoga blocks, use a block and a thick book, or 2 thick books. We'll be needing that in our balance maybe, as support, and also at the end of the class. We're building up to Camel Pose, a really intense kneeling back bend, and their blocks are super helpful. We'll also be needing a belt, a yoga belt. If you don't have a yoga belt, the belt, a bathrobe, or a scarf are perfect alternatives, or a towel also works really well. If there's any poses you don't like, you don't have to do them. If at any point you're feeling tired or it's a bit much, then get into a really gentle like resting pose, like child's pose, or just waiting standing. I'm giving you suggestions in this yoga session. You don't have to do what I say, it's your practice. Other than that, I really hope you enjoy it and have fun. Yeah, in a way. We're starting in the same way as last week, so we're lying on our backs. Feet on the floor, feet hip width apart, a comfortable distance away from your bum, knees hip width apart, pointing to the ceiling, and you can have your hands on by the side of your body, or you can have your hands on your abdomen and maybe lower chest, just as where your ribs end. And as we lie down, maybe tuck your chin a tiny bit so that your neck is nice and flat. Maybe lift your shoulders off the ground, spreading them wide and then lowering them down so that you're really nice and broad in the shoulders. And doing that might result in your upper arms moving slightly away from your torso. And we're looking to the ceiling. We're just going to take a few breaths in and out here, maybe inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And you could even exhale with a sigh if you wanted, just to let go of everything, anything that has happened so far today. If a sigh doesn't do it for you, don't feel you have to do it. And now let's come to in and exhale through the nose, and we're going to try and stick with that throughout the whole practice. Taking a few more really deep breaths in, as deep as you can inhale, and inhaling as much as you can as well. Maybe at the bottom of the exhale, squeezing your abdomen, really squeezing as if you're wringing out a cloth, a wet piece of fabric. One more really deep exhale. And then maybe closing your eyes, coming to a gentle breath in your own rhythm. We want to be present in this moment for our practice. We can always come back to our breath. Try not to think about anything that you have to do next week, anything in your private life or work or anything like that. Try to stay with your yoga poses and with your breath. Now let's do a few rounds of full yogic breath. I'm going to inhale into our abdomen, ribs and chest first a few times, and then do the whole thing together. As you inhale, pressing your abdomen out, feeling how your tummy expands like a balloon that is being blown up. And exhale, feeling the abdomen move down. Inhale, allow your abdomen to expand as much as it wants to. We so much suck our tummy in a lot of the times. And exhale. And we don't want to do that. No tension. We're breathing freely. One more breath here. Inhaling into our abdomen. Tummy expands. We feel our hand lift if our hand is on our abdomen. And exhale. Next one, we're going to breathe into our middle lungs, into our ribs. For that, you could even place your hands against your ribs with the heels of your hands against the ribs, fingers pointing inwards. And as we inhale, pushing the ribs away if your hands are there, pushing your hands apart. And exhale, hands moving inwards, ribs moving inwards. Inhale, really expanding your chest sideways. Exhale, moving together. One more. Inhale here. As wide as you can get your ribs. And exhale. Chest is moving in. We're going to breathe into our upper chest. For that, you can place your hands on your chest, maybe fingertips on collarbones. And we're going to inhale. We're lifting our chest. You might feel a lift in your shoulders, shoulders moving up. And exhale, feel your chest sink, shoulders move down a little. Inhale. Chest moving up, maybe your chest is pressing into your hands if your hands are on the chest. And exhale, moving, breathing out. One more inhale here. And exhale. Lovely. Now we're going to combine all of that. And again, if you want to place one hand on your abdomen, the other on your lower ribs, or place your hands wherever you have most trouble feeling the breath, or where you felt it a lot and you enjoyed having your hands there. And we're just going to breathe all of that together now. So we're going to inhale into our abdomen first, it lifts, ribs next, chest last. Hold at the top for a second. And then we're going to exhale, chest moves down, ribs move together, abdomen sinks. Take a few more breaths like that in your own rhythm. Into the abdomen, ribs and chest, holding for a second. Exhaling, chest comes down, ribs move together, abdomen moves down. Breathing here. One more breath. And at the end of the exhale, opening our eyes if we've closed them. Breathing like that can feel a bit unnatural almost, and a bit funny, because a lot of us are used to breathing quite shallowly throughout the day. And encouraging a really nice deep breath is great for getting more oxygen, but also carbon dioxide, and a really good balance of the gases that we need to function and stay alive. We're going to do the same thing that we did last week. We're going to place our hands under our lower back into that natural curvature of the spine, and we're just going to have a few rocks back and forth and really feeling what arching the spine versus rounding the spine means. So having that little natural curvature, that is neutral spine. Most of us will have that. There's a little gap if we're just lying on the floor. And if we now inhale, and we're arching our spine, so we're pressing our tailbone, our glute, our bum into the floor. We feel how our abdomen lifts, and that big, big gap between the back and the floor now. And then as we exhale, we're pressing the back into the floor. We're going to round our tailbone. So if we're trying to sort of pull it up, it's almost like maybe our glutes are lifting a teeny tiny, like a millimeter off the floor, feeling our back press on our hands. Again, inhale, arching the spine, big gap, rocking forward, and exhale, rounding the spine, maybe lifting the tailbone off the floor, pressing in. One more, inhale, And exhale, pushing into the hands. And then calming into neutral and feeling that again. Lovely. Bring your hands alongside your body, palms into the floor, and we're just going to raise our right leg to the ceiling. Just a really gentle stretch in the back of our leg. We're going to flex our foot to intensify that stretch. Just hold this 4, 1, 2, and 3. And now let's bend the right knee into your chest, interlace your fingers around the shin if you can reach. If not, maybe if you have a belt near, you could bring that around. And pulling your knee into the chest. You could straighten the left leg here, bring the heel, maybe the calf onto the floor, flexing both feet, active here. Inhale and exhale. If you straighten the left leg, bring that back in, foot back on the floor, letting go of the right shin, foot on the floor. Now we're going to raise the left leg to the ceiling, trying to have the leg as straight as we possibly can. If that means that the leg is at more of a sort of 45-ish degree angle or something, that's fine. It doesn't have to be straight to the ceiling. But wherever you are flexing the foot, intensify that to really wake up the back of the leg. And staying here for another 2. And 3. And now bending the left knee, bringing our fingers or belt around the shin, pulling the left knee into the chest. If you want, you could straighten the right leg over the floor, heel touching the floor, flexing the foot, and maybe calf touching the floor as well. Same for another 2. And 1. And now pulling the right foot in again, placing the right foot on the floor, letting go of the shin, placing the left foot on the floor. We're going to do eagle legs on the floor here. So for that we're going to bring the left leg over the right. So we're going to lift our left thigh, foot off the floor, crossing the left thigh over the right, and see if you can bring your toes, the left toes, around the right calf. If you can't do that, that's fine. You can just leave the feet next to each other. Another trick would be to maybe roll slightly onto the right side of your body, and by doing that, you're sort of helping your foot sneak around the right calf, so that the left toes are sort of poking around, and then lifting your right foot off the floor so that your legs are hovering. You could bring your hands gently on the left knee here. Just waking up our hips. Breathing for another 2. And 3. And now going to, if your hands were on your knee, release, bring the right foot on the floor and then untangle your legs. Both feet on the floor again, knees bent, and we're now going to raise our right foot off the floor, cross the right thigh over the left, and see if we can bring the right toes around the left calf. If you can't do that, you can leave the foot on the other side, or you could try and roll onto your left and see if that little turn helps you to bring your foot around. So the right toes are also looking forward in that sense, or as we're lifting our foot, the left foot off the floor, both foot toes are sort of looking to the ceiling. If you want, again, you can bring your hands gently on the right knee. And we're breathing here. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, if we're doing reclining eagle, you know what our balance is going to be. And one more breath, inhale, exhale, letting go of the knee if you are holding it, lowering the left foot on the floor, and untangling your knees. We are going to, if you want, you can just roll onto your side and come to seated that way. Or if you want to massage your back a little bit, you can bring your hands behind your knees and see if you can have a couple of rocks here. Lovely, really nice. couple of rocks, and then just roll forward, come to a seated position. Really good, nice. Sometimes I think with like the rocking, if it's okay for your back, it's quite playful. It's a bit like sort of, I think we're missing a lot of play in our day as adults. We become too serious. We're going to roll onto our shins, our knees, hands and shoulders, and we're going to be in tabletop. And we're going to do cat-cow and tabletop. And this is pretty much what we did just lying down, isn't it? Like when we had our hands under our lower back, and we were feeling how the arching and rounding of the spine felt there. So hands are on shoulders, wrists, elbows, and shoulders are stacked on top of each other. Our knees are hip width apart, toes are pointing back. I'm going to inhale, we're arching our spine, we're looking up, looking to the ceiling. Exhale, we're pushing the ground away, rounding the spine, tucking the chin to chest. Inhale, we're arching our spine, we're looking up, we're in cow, really pulling, engaging the back muscles here. You feel your back, press your belly down. Exhale, rounding the spine, shoulder blades pushing apart. Your hands are pushing into the ground as if you're trying to push yourself off the floor. Inhale, coming up. Your shoulder blades are coming together here a little bit, but shoulders away from the ears, looking up. Arching the spine. Feel like you're almost trying to snap your spine in half, but don't, obviously. Exhale, pushing the ground away. Tucking up, tailbone in as well, rounding that lowest part of our spine. Chin to chin. Inhale, cow, looking up, we're stretching our throat. Exhale, pushing back, arms engaged, back engaged. One more either side. Inhaling in cow. Exhaling in the angry cat. And at the end of cat, let's come into a tabletop, neutral spine. Lovely. Tucking our toes, bringing the toes on the floor. I'm going to push, lifting our knees off the ground, very, very slowly coming into a downward dog. As you can see, our hands are staying where they are. Hands are shoulder width apart, so a perfect location for a down dog already. Index fingers pointing forward. The weight is spread through the palms, so not just in the ball of the hand, but also the knuckles, the fingers. Shoulders are pulling away from the ears, shoulder blades maybe slightly pulling apart. Flat, broad back. If that means that you need to bend your knees, that's totally fine. Feet are pointing forward. About a foot width or length between your feet. Your heels do not have to touch the ground, but pull your heels towards the ground so that you wake up your calves. You're looking towards your big toes. Staying here for another breath or two, just to really feel what this down dog feels like, so we know what we're doing. If you want, you can walk your feet, bending one knee, straightening the other. And as we're doing that, we're going to start doing tiny, tiny steps forward. Teeny, tiny steps forward. I'm going to stop with our feet about a foot length behind our hands. I'm just going to hang here. You could grab opposite elbows and just really hang heavy. You can bend your knees a little bit if that feels better, waking up the back of our legs. You could sway from side to side. Feel quite nice. Again, holding your elbows or drawing your fingers over the floor. And come to center, come to stillness. We're going to bend our knees as much as we can so that our abdomen and our chest are on top of our thighs. Tucking our chin to our chest, and we're rolling up, straightening our legs slowly, feeling our chest lift off our thighs, rolling up through the spine,
The last thing that lifts is the head.
Lovely, wonderful. We're going to be doing Moon Salutations, which warm up our back quite a bit. Just showing you again the hand postures, so to speak, the mudras that we do. As we come up, we cross our thumbs over, and then we go and come into a little back bend with this hand gesture, so the thumbs are crossed, a bit like if you made like shadow puppets, like a bird. And then we step back, and then as we step forward, we come into a high lunge and we come into temple mudra. So we're crossing our fingers over, our thumbs over, but our index fingers are together and pointing to the ceiling. So it looks like this. So we know what we're doing. Normally I try to explain that, and I don't know how well I explain that, to be honest. Okay, we come to the front of our mat for Tadasana, so feet together or hip width apart, whatever you prefer. Let's lift our toes off the floor, spreading them as wide as we possibly can, and then lowering them one at a time. Little toe, second toe, middle toe, index toe, and big toe. And lifting our heels up maybe, lowering them down. Really nice firm grounding. We're going to be engaging our pelvic floor, perineum, and our abs, tucking our pelvis teeny tiny bit, so that instead of a dot thumb, nice and flat back. Shoulders coming up, back and down, opening our chest, palms facing forward. Inhale, exhale here. Nice tall stance, as if someone's pulling us by the top of the head, but chin is slightly tucked. Inhaling our arms up, and exhale, pulling our hands into heart center. And here we're crossing our thumbs over now, reaching our hands to the ceiling, and now come into a tiny back bend. Go as far as you can or want. We're going to do a few of these. Exhale, we're coming down, flat back here. Hands either side of the front feet, maybe bending the knees. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins for looking down. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the right foot, lowering the knee and tucking the toes, and we're coming into a low lunge. Rolling our shoulders up, back and down, opening the chest, palms forward, we're looking to the ceiling. And as you're here, push into, we're pulling that front knee forward a tiny bit to intensify the hip flexor stretch on the right. Inhale, exhale, hands either side of the front foot, tucking the toe, lifting the knee, stepping back to plank. Inhaling, plank, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward, Cobra. Hands around our shoulders, chest is lifted, toes are pointing back. Exhale, tucking the toes, coming into a downward dog. We're not staying here very long, just a breath or two. Pushing into the hands, pushing into the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, we're already stepping forward with the right foot in between the hands. We're staying on the ball of the back foot, and we're coming up. We're doing the little, let's call it James Bond, that's what I've called it before. Arms are, fingers are pointing to the ceiling, arms are straight. Try to have your upper arms against your ears. And we're tucking the chin and we're looking down here. And inhale and exhale, the hands are coming down already. Stepping forward with the back foot. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold, maybe bending the knees as early. Inhale, engaging the core, we're coming up with a flat back, arms overhead. Exhale, hands up to heart center, and we're coming straight back into it. Crossing the thumbs over, opening the hands, coming into a back bend. Exhale, folding. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot, lowering the knee, untucking the toes. We're coming up into our low lunge. Shoulders up, back and down, hands forward. We're looking up. Maybe pushing a little bit more forward to intensify that hips flexor stretch. Inhale, exhale, hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the back knee, stepping into plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward, Cobra. Exhale, we're pushing back, down dog. Maybe stepping the feet in a little bit. One breath here. Inhale, pushing into the hands, getting long. Exhale, stepping forward with the left. And coming up into a high lunge. Fingers interlaced, index fingers pointing to the ceiling. Arms, upper arms against the ears, tucking the chin to the chest, looking to the floor. And straighten that back knee. Don't droop the back knee, really engaged here. Inhale, exhale, hands down, stepping forward with the back foot. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, hands down, forward, forward, forward. Inhale, engage the core, come up with a flat back. And exhale, hands into heart center. What I want us to do now is be a little slower and also be a lot more mindful of the back bends that we're doing. And the back bends that we're doing are Cobra, obviously. Down dog is also a little bit of a back bend if you're really pushing into your hands. And also when we're in knees, chest, chin, and our bottom is in the air. And just really connect with your back, like think about your back, so to speak. And I'll give a few more cues how to get there. Okay. Arms by the side of your body, and inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Inhale, we're crossing the thumbs over, opening the hands, coming into our back bend. Squeeze your bum as you come into your back bend. Straight legs. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right, lowering the knee, untucking the toes, coming into our low lunge, palms facing forward, we're looking to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands either side of the front foot, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, stepping back. Inhaling here, and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down, and feeling this pose, extending for a breath. Inhale, pushing maybe your chest a bit more to the ground, lifting your bum a little more to the ceiling. Exhale. With the next inhale, we're sliding forward, pointing our toes, coming into Cobra. No weight or very little weight in your hands. The lift comes from the back muscles. We're looking forward, elbows into the body. Feel that your back is working. Inhale and exhale, tucking the toes, coming into your down dog. Maybe setting the feet in a little bit. Inhale, exhale here. The next inhale, really push your hands into the ground. Pull your heels down. Push into your shoulders. Feel a little bit of a back engagement here. Also feel your shoulders wake up. Maybe your forehead is coming closer to the floor. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, stepping the right foot in between the hands. Coming up into a high lunge, fingers interlaced, thumbs crossed, index fingers pointing to the ceiling. Arms against the ears. Chin tucked, we're looking down. Inhale, exhale, straight leg, the back leg, and pulling the heel back. Inhale, and exhale, hands down either side of the front foot, stepping forward with the back foot. Inhale, half forward fold, we're looking down. Exhale, full forward fold, maybe bending the knees, forehead shins. Inhale, engaging the core and coming up flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. And other side, crossing over the thumbs, palms open, engaging your, squeezing your glutes, legs are straight, looking back. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left, lowering the knee, untucking the toes, coming up into our low lunge. Palms facing forward, looking to the ceiling, maybe pushing a little into the front knee. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the knee, stepping back. Inhaling here in plank. And exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. And focus again on this little back bend. Pushing, maybe trying to pull your bum a bit higher, more of the chest to the ground. feeling that engagement in your back. Inhale, exhale, we're sliding forward, untucking the toes, pointing them back into Cobra. Hands are on the shoulders, our chest is lifted, we're looking forward. No weight in the hands. Lift your hands off the floor. See if you can remain the same level. And exhale. Inhale, one last inhale here. Exhale, tucking the toes, pushing into down dog. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Stepping the feet in a little bit if you want to. And pushing into the hands, pulling shoulder blades apart. Maybe flattening, I was thinking, you're flattening your armpit. Bring your armpits closer to the floor. Heels pulling down. Maybe your forehead is coming slightly closer to the ground. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. And inhale, stepping the left foot in between the hands. We're coming up to a high lunge, fingers interlaced, thumbs crossed, index fingers pointing up. Upper arms against the ears. Chin tucked, looking to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands either side of the front foot, stepping forward. Inhale, hands to shins, forward, forward. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, flat back, engaging the core, and coming up. And exhale, hands into hands in. I'm sure you might have felt how the second round of Moon Salutations was actually a bit more exhausting. And we did the same thing, we just focused a lot more on what we were doing in the specific poses. And that level of awareness is something that we sometimes lose when we're moving quickly through yoga practice. So really connecting with what Cobra feels like actually means you make more out of the pose. We keep going, we're adding a little bit similar to what we did last week. Okay, so arms to the side of our body. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Inhale, crossing the thumbs over, engaging the glutes, squeezing our hips forward a bit, coming to back bend. Exhale, folding down. Full forward fold, maybe with bent knees. Inhale, hands to shins, we're looking down. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right foot, lowering the knee, and tucking the toes, coming up, palms facing forward, looking to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands down, tucking the toes, lifting the knee, stepping back. Inhale, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Again, quickly get into that pose. And we're sliding forward directly into Cobra, untucking the toes. Coming here. Again, feel the strength in the back. Inhale, exhale, tucking the toes. In our down dog. Maybe stepping the feet in a little bit. Pushing into those hands. Maybe trying to almost think of arching the back. You don't have to arch it, but back is a little swoop. We're going to inhale, raise the right leg up. 2, ceiling first, have your leg in line with your back, not opening the hip yet. 3-legged dog. See how your left foot, your standing foot, might be coming more to the floor. Maybe the heel is on the mat now. Inhale and exhale, opening the hip, lifting that leg more, bending the knee, dropping the right foot to the left, and staying here for a breath or two. Inhale here, pushing to both hands equally. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, we're straightening the leg and we're stepping forward in between our hands. We're coming up into that high lunge that we've been doing. Fingers interlaced, thumbs crossed, index fingers to the ceiling. Great. Inhale. And exhale, hands down, stepping forward with the left. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, engaging the core, and we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center, and other side. Crossing the thumbs, coming back, pushing the hips forward. Exhale, coming down. Full forward fold. Inhale, half fold, hands to shins. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the left, lowering the knee, and tucking the toes, coming up, palms facing forward, looking to the ceiling in our low lunge. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale. Exhale, hands down either side of the front foot, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, stepping back. Inhaling in plank and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Feel that. Push your chest down, really intensifying the back bend. Inhale, sliding forward. Looking forward. Exhale, tucking the toes into down dog. Maybe stepping in a little bit if you wish to. Pushing into the hands. And pushing elbows away, opening the shoulders. Pushing down, maybe bring the forehead slightly closer to the floor. The next inhale, lifting the left foot up first. The leg is in line with our body. Maybe we're bringing the heel of the standing foot, the right foot down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale with the next exhale, we're opening our chest, lifting the left leg higher, bending the knee and dropping the left foot to the right. Pushing equally into both hands. The more you drop the foot, the more intense that stretch in the obliques, in the hips is going to be. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. One last inhale. And exhale, stepping the foot in between the hands. Left foot in between the hands. We're coming up to a high lunge. Fingers interlaced, index finger pointing to the ceiling. Arms as close as we can get them to our ears. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands down. Stepping forward with the right. Inhale, half forward, fold. Exhale, full forward fold. And engaging the core, coming up. So hands into heart center. Stay here for a moment, catching our breath. Last Moon Salutation coming up, where we will be adding Wild Thing. We're from the hip opening and down and three-legged dog. We're dropping the foot. We've done that last week. So another quiet breath here, calming our heart rate down a little bit. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more, inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Crossing the thumbs over. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half fold, hands to shins. Exhale, hands down, stepping back with the right foot. Lowering the knee and tucking the toes. Coming up into our low lunge, looking to the ceiling, maybe sinking a little bit into the front knee. Last time that we're doing this on the right. Inhale, exhale. One last inhale. Exhale, hands down, looking great everyone. Tucking the toes, lifting the knee, stepping back. Inhaling and plank. Exhale, knees down. Chest down, chin down, 8-point pose, StrongER. Pushing your chest to the floor. Inhale, sliding forward, Cobra. Untucking the toes. Slide like a Cobra over the floor. Maybe lifting the hands off the ground, working your back for a minute. Not a minute, for a second. Inhale, hand. Exhale, hands down. Pushing back as we tuck the toe into down dog. Maybe stepping the feet in a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Pushing into the hands. Inhale, exhale. With the next inhale, we're lifting the right foot off the floor. First three-legged dog. Leg in line with our body. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, we're lifting the right leg higher, opening it up. Coming into our hip opening, side stretching. Right foot is falling to the left. One breath here, inhale. And with the exhale, we're keeping on falling. Falling. The right hand lifts off the floor. We're coming into our Wild Thing. Tiptoes off the right foot on the floor. Looking amazing, guys. Reaching that right hand over. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and the next exhale, pushing, turning, right hand to the floor, coming back into a three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, stepping the right foot in between our hands. Well done. Coming into a high lunge. Fingers interlaced, index fingers pointing to the ceiling. Arms as straight as we can get them. Chin tucked, looking down. Inhale. Exhale, hands down either side of the front foot. Stepping forward. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Now bending the knees. Exhale, engaging the core, coming up with a flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. Amazing. Other side. Going to cross our thumbs, opening the hands, squeezing our glutes, hips forward, back bend. Last one of the day. Exhale. Well, last one of those. Hands down. Inhale. Hands, shins, looking down. So hands down either side of the front foot, stepping back with the left, and lowering the knee, and tapping the toes, coming up into our last low lunge for today. Looking to the ceiling, palms forward, and pushing a little bit more into that front knee. Inhale, exhale, looking lovely. Inhale, exhale, hands either side of the front foot, tapping the toes, lifting the knee, stepping back. Inhaling and plank, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Last 8-point pose, last Ustrasana, chest to the floor. Inhale, sliding forward, Cobra. Really working the back, hands into the ground, but no weight in those hands, our back is doing the work. Inhale, exhale, tapping the toes, pushing back. Maybe stepping in a little bit, taking a moment, maybe exhaling through the mouth. With a sigh, we've been working hard. Another exhale through the mouth. Now let's try to stick with inhale, exhale through the nose for the last bit. Inhale, left leg lifts. Fast in line with the body. Maybe you're lifting it too high initially. I tend to do that. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, we're lifting that leg higher now. Bending the knee, dropping the foot behind us. But staying here in this side hip stretch. Inhale and exhale, we're lowering the foot down. The left hand's coming off the floor. Amazing. Really great. Stretching, reaching the left hand behind us. Looking to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale, we're pushing into the right hand. Swiveling over, coming into a three-legged dog. Inhale and exhale, left foot in between the hands. We're coming into a high lunge. Fingers interlaced, thumbs crossed, index fingers pointing to the ceiling. Chin tucked, looking to the floor. Back leg is straight. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, the side of the front foot, and we're stepping forward. Inhale here. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, engaging our core. Coming up with a flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. Amazing, well done. I'm assuming we're warm. I am. Great. I think Moon Salutations are really great for waking up our back. And that standing back bend, I think, can be super scary. So starting gentle is super important. But it's also it's quite a powerful pose, so I think it's a really nice one to include, but be super careful, which I'm sure you were. We're coming to our balance, which is Eagle Pose. If you struggle balancing, I'll just show you. So we've done that on the floor, that we're crossing over the leg and then trying to sniggle the toes of the top leg around the calf. If you can't manage that, and you're just really wobbly, you could place a block on the outside of the standing leg and just rest your foot there. That's a super nice version that makes it a lot more gentle, and you still get to experience the pose. If you don't want that, you don't have to do that. we're going to first cross over our arms, and we're going to start standing on the right. So we're going to bring our right hand on our left shoulder. Great. The left arm around, and then either back of the hands together or crossing like palms and fingers together. We're going to sit in a chair, like as if we're doing Tadasana. The lower you sit, the easier you're going to find it to interlace your legs. We're going to lift the left leg up, cross the left thigh over the right thigh, and then see if you can walk, sort of claw your toes around the calf. At some point they might be visible from the front, doesn't have to be. And we can sit here, and you're going to feel stretch in your shoulders. If you want to, you don't have to, if you want to, intensify the shoulder stretch. Reach your fingers up and push your elbows forward. If you wanted to challenge your balance a little more, don't know if I need that right now, but you could try and round your back and bring your elbows to your knees. I'm really wobbly right now. So, and find a spot on the floor, on the wall, that you can look at. Like sort of coming into like a sleeping eagle, which makes me fall out of it. But that's, as I say, if you want to challenge your balance a bit more, you could do this, and then really gently, slowly come out of it again. Let's stay for one more breath in our eagle. Inhale, and exhale, let's come out. Well done. Really nice. Okay. I was going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're standing on the right, so we're touching the right shoulder with the left arm, or left hand, left arm. Crossing the right elbow around the left, then either back of hands together or palms and fingers together. We're sitting down, again, we're sitting low. And once we're sitting, we're lifting the right foot now off the floor, crossing the right thigh over the left, and seeing if we can get our toes outside of the ankle, the calf, on the left. Trying to find that spot to look at. And if you want to intensify that shoulder stretch, you don't have to. Fingers up, shoulders forward. So it's normal to be more wobbly on one side of your body. And if you wanted to challenge your balance a bit more, you could round your back, elbows to knees, like sleeping eagle. And coming up gently, slowly. Stay for one more breath here, and coming out. Well done. Let's shake our legs, roll our shoulders. Whew. Well done. We are going to come to the floor. Standing at the top of our mat, we're going to move through one final vinyasa. We're going to stand here, stand for a moment, just gently here in stillness. Maybe closing our eyes. Feeling how our body sways a little bit in Tadasana, mountain pose, with our eyes closed. Maybe concentrating on our heartbeat for a moment, feeling our heartbeat fast. Okay. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, engaging the core, we're coming down. Inhale, half forward, fold. Exhale, hands down, stepping up with whichever foot you prefer. Last one, into plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, sliding forward into Cobra, toes pointing back. And exhale, pressing into hands, coming into a child's pose. And let's stay here for a few breaths. Toes, big toes touching. Knees slightly apart. Hands can be out in front of you. And if you're pushing your hands into the floor, that activates your shoulders a bit. So that can be a nice shoulder stretch. Or you could have your arms alongside your body, maybe touching your feet. Just a really gentle pose here. Okay, if you were touching your feet in your child's pose, bring our arms out in front of us. Looking up, coming onto your knees a little bit, almost into a little tabletop. We're going to come onto our forearms, onto our elbows, and we're going to do that shoulder stretch that I like. Sorry if you find that terrible, but opening our shoulders to me is a big part for preparing for camel. So the further away your elbows are from your knees, the more intense the shoulder stretch is going to be. And you feel this is also a teeny tiny back bend. So maybe bring your elbows a bit closer to your knees if you're finding this too much. And shifting your weight a bit more into the elbows, taking weight out of the stretch to make it less intense. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And now we're going to bring our palms onto the floor. We're staying with the rest of the body is staying how it was. I'm coming into puppy pose. Now maybe sliding forward slightly so your hips are over your knees. And you can bring your, if you can't get your chest or your chin to the floor, you just look down, pressing into the hands. You could also get a block here and place that under your forehead and stay in puppy pose that way. And maybe you can actually get your chest on the floor and your mouth on the floor. Quite an intense upper back bend. Cobra, what we've been doing a lot so far, engages the lower back. This is doing the upper back and shoulders. Inhale here. And our exhale is pushing into our elbows and we're coming into a swings. So our body is on the floor, our legs are on the floor, our abdomen is on the floor, our forearms are on the floor, elbows are under our shoulders. And we're pushing with the hands forward a bit. And here again, this is more of an middle and upper back bend in swings. And in swings, I want you to think about as if you were pushing your spine only. Your spine is going pushing forward between your chest, between your ribs, engaging this. Because you can do swings just lying here and not engaging the back, or you're pulling your shoulders back, the shoulder blades together, spine forward, and feel how that changes. Coming down on our chest for a moment, hands under the shoulders, index fingers pointing forward, and we're pushing into our hands here. We're coming up into a big cobra. So our groin is on the floor, but the chest is lifted. And imagine you're rolling over a beach ball here, looking to the ceiling, curling through the entire spine. Looking to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, pushing to the hands, coming into a child's pose again. Breathe in here. We're going to do this once more. The whole routine that we've just done. And in your child's pose, maybe bring your forehead a bit more in, making the back a bit shorter, a bit rounder. That is a nice counter pose to the back bends we've just done. We're curling our spine the opposite way now. Breathe in here. One more breath. Okay, let's come out of this, coming into our tabletop, more or less. And we're going to bring our elbows down. Elbows are about head width, a bit wider than the head. It's about a head width between the elbows. And maybe bring the forehead down, chin down, looking forward, stretching those shoulders. Again, elbows closer to the body, more weight into the elbows to take the stretch, make the stretch less intense. Okay, now let's bring our forearms up. palms on the floor, and we're sliding forward until our hips are over our knees into puppy pose. And we're pushing into the hands a little bit, feeling that back bend in the upper back. Staying here for a few breaths. And now, pushing into your hands and into the elbows, and we're coming, bringing our hips down. So a little bit in swings. In swings, bring your elbows under your shoulders, your toes pointing back, hands pushing forward, shoulder blades pulling together. And again, imagine that you're trying to push your spine in between your ribs, push it through the chest, really engaging the upper back here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more inhale and exhale. We're coming to the floor, forehead on the ground, hands under shoulders, index fingers pointing forward, and we're coming up into a big cobra. Groin, hip bones stay on the floor, chest is lifted, looking to the ceiling, curving through the whole spine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, pushing into the hands, coming into our child's pose. And now everyone, bring your hands either to touch your feet, or if there's too much pressure on your neck, on your forehead, with the forehead on the floor, bring your forearms either side of your head. There's extra support, but rounding the spine a bit more here. Pull your hands under your shoulders, pressing into the shoulders, come to kneeling. I'm going to slide to the side, I'm going to sit down. Legs out in front of us. Lovely. Let's bring our feet to the floor, bending the knees, hugging our knees here, and just bring our forehead to the knees. Just really nice. Again, similar, it's like a seated child's pose, but just rounding the spine, also stretching the neck a little bit. Looking up. I'm going to stretch our legs out in front of us. I'm going to do just a few seated poses. We didn't really do them last week, but I think it's a nice one still to do. We're going to do Tadasana, seated forward fold. So just legs out in front of us. You can use a belt here, bring that around the balls of the feet. Holding the belt in either hand. We're going to inhale, sitting up tall. And exhale, we're falling down flat back. If you don't have a belt, hold your calves or your ankles or your big toe, maybe. And you sit here, inhale, pull, 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 flat back, and exhale, lowering. And just sitting here, flexing the toes, heels on the floor, and breathing for a few. You can look to your calves, or you can look towards your big toes. And you can also close your eyes if you wanted to. Okay, inhale, lengthening those arms. Exhale, sliding back to seated. Lovely. We're going to bring our feet together now. Soles of the feet together, pulling them slightly apart so that they're open like the pages of a book. Bring them as close to our groin as we can or want. And let's flutter them like the wings of a butterfly. Lovely. And then come to stillness. Tucking your chin to your chest, looking down, stretching the back of our neck here. I'm just sitting still like this. Again, you could close your eyes if you wanted to. Breathing in and out through the nose. Looking up, we are going to do Salabhasana. That pose we're lying on our belly and we're lifting our chest, our legs, and then together if we want. So if you want to come to the floor, onto our abdomen. The second last set of back bends you'll be pleased to hear. Your arms are beside your body, palms are facing up. Feet are together, touching, as if we have one leg, like a mermaid tail. Your mouth is on the mat. And we're going to first lift our chest, then our legs, then both if we want. We're going to inhale, exhale here. And with inhale, we're lifting our chest as high as we can. And your fingers are pulling back, pulling you up. That helps. One more breath. Inhale. Continue to breathe even though it's difficult. And exhale, coming down. Bring your right ear to the mat. Let's rock our hips from side to side. Okay. Coming to stillness. Feet together, like a mermaid tail. Mouth and nose are on the mat, arms are beside the body. Inhale, exhale here. And inhale, lift your legs up. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale, bringing those legs down. Bring your left ear to the mat and rock your hips from side to side. Alright. Legs together, feet together, mermaid tail. Mouth and nose to the mat. Do either one of those again, or let's try to do both of those at the same time. Inhale, exhale here. And inhale, lifting up, all of us. We're making a smile, a banana shape. Think like you're flying through the air. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale, coming down, right ear down to the mat and shimmying our hips from side to side. Alright, hands on the shoulders, pushing into your hands, coming into brief child's pose. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, hands on the shoulders, pushing up to kneeling. Lovely. It is Cobra time. Not Cobra time, sorry, Camel time. I don't know why I'm confused on today. Very different. For Camel, we are kneeling. If you find that uncomfortable in knees, you could get a blanket, or you can just pull your mat in towards you and fold it over. So you've got 3 layers of mat, which can be really helpful. Here, if you have 2 blocks, I'll show you again all the 3-4 options that we've got. Blocks are really helpful. But option number 1, and the reason why I'm showing this again is, just because we could do one thing last week doesn't mean our body likes that this week. Yoga is not supposed to have anything to do with ego, but we're human and life. A lot of us are competitive in a way. And even if that means we're not competitive with others, we could be competitive with ourselves. So be gentle with yourself. If last week you could do one thing and it doesn't work this week, that's fine. Next week will be different again. So the first option, and we're going to all start like that no matter what option we take, is our palms on our lower back, fingers pointing down, elbows pulling together as much as we can. And we're just curving through our spine here, looking to the ceiling. That is great. Next option would be to place the blocks either side of your heels, so you almost can't see your feet. We're starting again in the same way, looking to the ceiling. We're first curving as much as we can through our spine, and then we can see where the block, if we can get our hands on our blocks. And then bring your hands back to the lower back, coming out of this. I'm really bad at bringing my hands back to my lower back first and then coming out. I sort of catapult myself out, which is not supposed to be done. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where I'm like, do as I say, not as I do, but I should be doing that. So I will be doing my best to do as I say. So next option is hands on our lower back, curving again as much as we can. And then see if we can find our heels with our toes tucked, so our heels are a bit higher up. Then coming out again, like this. And the last option would be toes pointing back and seeing if we can find our heels that way. Okay, first wiggle all of that off. Coming into whichever option we think is going to work for us today. We're going to do 2 of these with a short break in between. So if you feel like after the first one, hey, there's more juice, you can try one of the deeper versions. Okay, toes tucked. If you want them to be hands on the lower back, fingers pointing back, elbows together. We're pulling your elbows together, opening the chest. We're looking to the ceiling, pushing our hips, and also you want your hips to stay over your knees as much as you can, sort of leaning back. Pushing our hips forward as we roll through our spine, looking backwards, coming deeper, rolling through the spine as much as you can before you let go and search for your heels or your block. If you're holding your heels, your thumbs are on the outside of the foot and your fingers are on the inside of the ankle. Staying here for another breath. Inhale, pushing your hips forward. Exhale. And now let's bring one hand to our lower back, other hand to the lower back. Coming up. Let's roll down here. Quick child's pose. These back bends really get your heart rate going. So make you feel really hot as well. Really create that fire in your body. Okay, one more breath in our little child's pose, in our little rounded spine. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale, and let's push into our hands, coming up. If you don't want to do another one, if you've had enough, then leave it. Totally fine. All right, decide. Are you going to go for the same one? Are you going to go for something a bit more gentle? Also totally fine. Are you going for something a bit more challenging? All right, hands on the lower back. Little fingers are touching. Pulling our elbows in. Pushing our hips forward, trying to keep our knees and hips over each other. And rounding through the upper spine first. Upper spine. Upper spine. Pushing your hips forward. And then when you think you can't round more, looking for your heels. And pushing your hips forward here. Staying here for 2 breaths if you can and want. Inhale, pushing your hips forward. Exhale. Inhale, pushing your hips forward. Exhale. Just bring one hand to the lower back, other hand to the lower back. Bring our bums down. Child's pose. Sweet, sweet child's pose. Maybe moving your hips from side to side. Hands under our shoulders, and we're pushing up, kneeling, and we're coming to Shavasana. We're done. Legs are in front of us. We're lying down. Actually, we're going to do a little brief twist and back massage, which is going to be nice. So bring our feet onto the floor, knees bent, and bring your knees into your body. interlacing the fingers around your shins, or maybe holding opposite elbows if you can reach. Trying to have your back as flat as you can. Inhale, exhale here. Now let's rock from side to side if that's comfortable. You can also just hold the shins for the rocking. That's quite nice. Have a bit more gap here. Then go off your hands over your shins. Arms, capital T, and we're falling the legs to the right side. Palms are facing up. The closer your knees are to your elbows, the more intense this twist. So if you're finding this uncomfortable, just move your knees away from it, just further down. Try to have both shoulders in contact with the ground. Inhale, exhale. You could bring the right hand on the left knee, pulling your knee down a little bit more, intensifying that stretch. Looking to the opposite side and closing the eyes. Really letting go. That twist of the spine, hopefully feeling quite nice after that really intense back bend of camel. Such a challenging pose. So even attempting it is a huge, huge achievement. Alright, if you are holding your leg with the right hand, let go of the right hand. Inhale, exhale here, and inhale, bringing our legs into center, and now falling them over to the left. Have a quick look at your arms, whether they're still capital T and in line with your shoulders. Might have changed as we're moving our body. You could place your left hand on the right thigh if you want, or right knee. Both shoulders in touch with the ground, looking to the other side, closing the eyes. Again, if the twist is too intense, move your knees a bit down, away from the elbow. We'll stay here for a few breaths, enjoying that we're slowing down. Holding onto the leg with the left hand, let go. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale, knees into middle. Maybe give yourself another big hug. You could even bring your forehead to your knees, rounding your spine a lot. And exhale, legs down, arms alongside the body. Shavasana, feet are hip to mat width apart, feet are falling out. Let's lift our shoulders off the mat again and lowering them down. Nice broad shoulders. Palms facing up. Chin slightly tucked. And breathing here. Maybe have body scan. Go through your body. Feel if there's any last movements you have to do to be fully comfortable. And just feeling your body, starting at the top of the head, and as we scan through, relaxing as well. And past the eyebrows, nice and smooth forehead. Eyes are relaxed, sinking into the sockets. Jaw is relaxed, slight gap between the teeth. Tongue is lying in the mouth, not glued to the roof of the mouth. Throat is relaxed, shoulders and neck are relaxed. If you're pulling your shoulders to your ears, let go, slide them down. Shoulders are broad on the floor. Your back is lying flat and heavy. Maybe you're feeling a bit softer now. Slight gap in the lower spine, just that natural curvature, neutral spine as we're lying down. Arms are heavy, back of the hands on the floor. Our chest and abdomen and ribs are moving with each inhale and exhale. Hips are quite nice and supple as well from our Moon Salutations. Thighs are heavy, glutes are heavy. Calves are resting on the ground, heels of the feet. Feet relaxed, the entire body is relaxed. And now try to commit to staying here without fidgeting for a few moments. And exhale with a sigh maybe. Bring some movement to your body, with your fingers, your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Bring your feet together, your arms together overhead. Have a nice full body stretch, 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 stretch. And let go of your knees into your chest. One more time, squeeze. And rock gently side to side. When your neck's on your right, drop your knees to the right. Roll into a little ball. Head resting on the right upper arm. Left hand in front of chest. And inhale. Exhale, pushing into the left hand. Gently coming up to seated. Lovely. Going to sit in gentle cross-legged or kneeling if you prefer. Maybe put your hands in your lap. Close your eyes for one more moment. Inhale deeply. Exhaling completely. Inhale. Exhale. Opening the eyes if you close them. Inhale, make a nice big circle. Exhale, pulling the hands down. Inhale, thumbs between the eyebrows, third eye, for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat for clear and kind words. Thumbs to our heart for clear and kind feelings to others and to ourselves. If you want, bow with gratitude to the practice of yoga and gratitude to yourselves for moving today. Thank you so much. It was an intense class, so well done.